Hello, everybody. Can you see us and hear us okay? If you can see us and hear us, please type llama in the chat. Let us know where you're viewing from today. All right, I see that we are live. Yay, we have llamas from the chilly seacoast of North Hampshire. Let's see, or New Hampshire, excuse me. And let's see where else. We've got lots of llamas. Welcome, everybody. Great. Welcome, everybody. Toronto. Hi, everyone. Windy, Prince Edward Island in Canada. Lots of Canadians
Wow.
today. Awesome. Oh, it's 1 degree where Patricia is. Another Ohio person. Hi, fellow Ohio person. Chicago. Excellent. Oh, from somebody from the UK, New Hampshire. Awesome. California, Vegas. Wow, we got people from all over the place today. This is great. All right. Oh, India. Welcome,
Oh,
everyone.
oh
Switzerland.
my God, that's late.
Yeah. Chicago. Oh, it's 12 degrees in New York City. Ooh, my hometown. It's so cold. We're from Vegas. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here today dealing with the cold and everything. This is a nice thing to do to keep warm inside, to watch some art. My name is Kitty, and I'll be your host for today's Etchr 30-minute class. And we are here with Isabel Santos, who's going to be teaching us how to do some urban sketching without being an architect, how to loosen up a little bit. So if you have questions for Isabella, please put them in the chat in all capital letters so that I can see it better. And if the question is relevant to what she's doing at the moment, I will ask at that time. If not, I might hold off some of those questions until the end when we do our question and answer session. And if you're part of our Facebook group, Isabella is also part of the group. So if you post your work to the group, she can see it, make some comments. You can also request feedback if you'd like, or you can just share for the sake of sharing. It's a private group, so please do join if you would like. I'm going to put that link in the chat as well. So here is that. But we really have people from all over today. We have people in Germany, 0 degrees in Germany, somebody from Iceland. This is awesome. Yay. South Africa.
Wow.
I know, this is awesome.
This is awesome.
I think this has been the most diverse amount of people that we've had in a while from just like all over the world. This is great. All right, well, without any further ado, I'm going to hand this over to Isabella. Please tell us more about what we're going to be doing today.
Yes. First of all, I would like to get like an idea. How many are non-architects here? Like, can they can they raise their hands or something? Just to give us an idea. And I also would like to know if there's an architect listening right now, watching and listening right now.
Yeah, I think it might be easier if just the architects answer.
That is true. Yeah. The non-architects, of course, most probably everyone is, here just to get idea on how to do it the non-architect way. And how many architects are here? If they could raise their hand.
Well, it seems that we have a lot of non-architects who love architecture, though.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the main thing, because I'm not an architect myself. I only started drawing actually in 2014, late 2014, and I'm a self-taught artist. I only watch everything through YouTube. And just like most of us here, I also had difficulty, like how do I sketch like very complicated, seemingly complicated buildings. And I found some ways and techniques on how I can make it look convincingly. like a real building, although, for sure the proportions may not be precise or anything, but I'm not an architect, so I don't care. Plus, I would love just sketching on my sketchbook. So if someone will, critique you, it doesn't matter because it's my art. So it's easier to think and sketch of something if you're just doing it for yourself. It lessens the stress and you just have that I don't care attitude. It's my art. So it will make things easier for everyone. Today we will be, I don't know, maybe you have the link,
We have some
Judy?
answers, actually. We have a non-architect, but in an architectural sketching class with an architect.
Great.
And then we also have, oh, where'd it go? Where'd that comment go? One architect from Toronto who loves non-architectural way of drawing. So yay.
Yay. Is his name Milutin? That's great. That's great because I also know some architects, um, especially the younger ones, and they don't know how to draw using because they use technical. They have the CAD, they have devices, they have everything on their iPad or very technical. So sometimes they don't even know how to draw on a sketchbook. And I think some of the classes now are introducing it back. So people will start going to location drawings and doing architectural drawings, which is actually good for, it's something liberating.
Yes.
Just the mere fact you're holding on to a tangible item like your sketchbook, it's very liberating to, feel the paper and the pen. So I think we should start doing some sketching.
Yeah.
And
Can
my
we
first thing
can we see some of
to
your work and also the piece that we're going to be doing for the mini workshop?
oh yes, thanks for reminding me. Okay, these are these are some of my work. This one I this one I sketched on location when I was in Melbourne, Australia, and it is a it is a subway station called Flinders Street Station. I went there twice because as an urban sketcher, we have to sketch on location and not based on photo. And for me personally, I really prefer sketching on location. The the drawing will have more feelings. The smell, the sound, and especially if you're sketching with other sketchers, it's always nice to be on location. So I prefer going on location to sketch. I did this twice. I went there two times to first do the outline drawing, and when it started to get dark, I went back the day after and did the values. The other sketch that I can show you, this was also done in sketch in Melbourne.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Um, this is a real. This is the Rialto Intercontinental. So two, if you could see there are two buildings, and this structure is a little different from the other one, but with a connection in the middle. This is like a glass structure.
Oh, wow.
It was unified, but
Oh,
of course I just did it using water soluble graphite because I find using just one color, it makes things easier to look for just the values, and you know composition is better. Oops, sorry. I hit my camera. So I prefer doing this, especially if it's a complicated scene. It's nicer to remove the color and just use one solid item like values. instead of focusing on colors and details.
Yeah, often color
So
can be so
yeah,
distracting.
yeah. So yeah, sometimes color is distracting.
We have
For
comments in the chat saying, "Wow, incredible," and that
oh,
these are
thank you.
lovely, and that they love your just love of sketching.
Yeah. So for the mini workshop, we will be doing this.
Wow, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Where is
And
this?
this was done loosely with a little bit of with a little bit of pen work, but almost nothing. It's mostly with watercolor. And you just need 2 or 3 colors. You don't need the whole 12, 15, 16, 32 colors that you have. Because the more I find that the more colors you use, the more it's harder for you to work on your composition. Because what's more important are the values and the focal point. So sign up, sign up for the mini workshop. You'll learn more. And it's exciting to work on this. All right.
And Isabella,
Okay.
there's a question in the chat. I think somebody would like to prepare. What size paper will you be using today?
Oh, nice question. I will show you the paper I'm using. We won't be using this Etchr watercolor block for the moment because I want to introduce you to a folded paper. This folded paper, I think if you've seen my video on Instagram, I've used this folded paper to do this sketch. And this is basically what we are going to do again today, uh, based on this reference photo. Okay, so if you want to sketch this, we will just be sketching it on this folded paper. I will show you how this is done. I will show you how this is done
Cool.
if you sign up for the mini workshop. It's easy. This is just one sheet of paper, maybe a half sheet, 140 grams. Nothing. It's watercolor paper. Nothing very expensive. I will use this, and most of the time I have this with me when I sketch on location because I don't want to mess up my beautiful sketchbook. Because that's the issue. Like, oh my God, how will I do something complicated? And I don't want to mess up my sketchbook. We do that. We've been there. So this is my solution. If I mess this up, I can just toss it. But I would advise you not to toss anything that you start working with because it documents your progress. It will show you the things that you need to improve on and the things that you can create. You can see the progress of your work when you keep your little handy dandy folded sketchbook. We will be working with this paper today, and the next step I will show you is how to look at a building and make it not look so complicated, because a lot of people struggle, like, how will I even start? Do we have any questions on that?
Not yet.
Not
But
yet.
I'm
Good.
interested to see where you start to, because that is always the hardest part.
No, okay, that's the hardest part. Looking at the building. How will you even put it on your paper? Um, Basically, when you're on location, you would be you would want to sketch something because you're attracted to something. You wanted to capture that moment. It's either you take a picture or you sketch it. And most of the time, I would only take pictures because I want to use it as a reference later on. But most of the time, I would sit with my little stool when I'm on location, and then I will start sketching. But if you're not, if you're not confident in sketching a building, how will you even start? So for this image, I mean, the whole scene is huge, right? I will just be focusing on one thing. You know, like, like, we all do focus on one thing at a time. It's hard to multitask. There's there are tests that shows that multitasking is not really efficient. But you want your subject. You want your subject to have. You need better composition for your subject. So if this is a huge thing, you can actually just focus on one item. And the rule of thirds, don't put everything dead center. That's so boring. So just put it a little bit on the side. Okay? So when you have this, how do you look at an angle? People who are non-architects, they don't like the word vanishing point. Otherwise, they will vanish from the scene. They don't like the word perspective drawing. Like, oh my God, that is so complicated. So I have a device, my handy dandy building spotter. And this will show you the angle. I don't know if everybody can see this.
Oh,
This
yeah.
little gadget that I have. Okay, let's put the building on the side. I think this is your core on attending this class. Drawing will be easier as soon as you find your angles. Okay, this is something you can all do. All of us artists, we like that checkered line. Those strips of the vertical and horizontal lines. Okay, so what you do first is get your masking tape. This is just a film, like a book cover or acetate or anything you can find at the dollar store or office supplies. Just get a small piece, something that you can easily hang on,
Like
something that you
Isabella?
can easily fold together with your sketchbook. So it is safely there in your sketchbook. And when you have this, put a circle, put it in the middle. Just use a marker, a permanent marker, and then put the numbers on the clock. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what a clock is. Everybody can read a clock, the face of a clock. And then when you're on location, eyeball the building. Like, what is this angle? Like this. What is this angle? Put the edge of your handy dandy angle building finder, and so it's between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. It's easier for you to translate that onto the paper. Any angle that you're having problems with. Of course, you can also add the line to put on the horizon. And the next building, what's the angle? Put it on the other side. Okay, oops. The iPad is not cooperating. Hang on. Just put it at the edge of the building. Okay, we would like to do this. What is the angle? Put the dot in the middle. Oh, now it's between 2 and 3. See, it's easier because if you are having problems with the angle of the building, this is something that you can use. Or you can also get a protractor. $2 at the dollar store, maybe $1. Easy for you to take along with you. And if you need to use a ruler, you can use the flat line. The other method that I use when I'm
Isabella?
sketching on location.
May I interrupt you for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
I have a question about how do you figure out where to put the dot?
Oh, Just the edge. Just the edge. Okay. So if for example, this angle, you want to know this angle. This point. Whichever angle you need to look at, just put your angle finder and put it on the edge.
I see. So you go at the starting point of the line.
Yes.
I see.
Here.
Okay.
Like here, for that dot, put it there. For this one, that's a little bit, because there's actually not a lot of perspective here. Like you cannot, there's a lot of vanishing point, the dreaded vanishing point. You don't care about vanishing point anymore. As long as you have your clock, put it there. So it's 2 o'clock and in between 12 and 1 o'clock for this angle. You see? Is that clear?
Yeah, now it makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So this one also has an angle, and you don't know what is the angle. So put it here, because this is the edge. Put it there. It's between 9 and 10. It's easy, right?
Yes.
It's a little bit like geometry. That's a little bit like geometry. Okay, so now I will start drawing. The best method that I use when I'm sketching a location, if for example this is your view, and you don't know how to start, you eyeball it. You eyeball the building. Actually close one eye and then just start sketching. Just start sketching from here. Most of the time when I'm sketching, when I'm looking at an image, I would move my finger so that I will just have the composition right here. Move your finger. It's like a placeholder. Okay. Okay. You have this building right there. You have this onion-shaped building right here. And you have this on the side. What you can do, usually I start at my focal point. This one's focal point is the onion building because it's the most unique one, right? And as I've said earlier, we should not put everything or the focal point dead center. I will start here. You just look at the shapes. Don't look at anything else, just the shape. What shape can you find? It's an onion. So if I put my onion here, I will just use this onion shape. Onion, 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 onion. And this angle, as we said earlier, it's between 2 and 3. 2 and 3, there you go. There you hit the onion, onion, onion. And there. I'm using a food pen, by the way. You can use your markers if you have a marker. And let me know if you have questions. This is just something quick. I will show details on how this is really done step by step. If you join the mini workshop, because I think we only have a few minutes left. Like, how many minutes do we have? Like 5?
We can go over a little bit. It's fine.
Oh, thank you. I explained too much. That's why.
I think we're really enjoying this and we would like to see a bit more. So.
Yeah. So, okay. We are actually done with the first drawing, right? So we don't need to look for the vanishing point. We just need our handy dandy spotter. And if you want to draw the next building right on this side, we have, see this handy dandy spotter? You have a little bit of space to put in the middle. like one square. You can put approximately right one here. And this shape is next to the lower part of the roof. You can also put it here. Just put a dot. You can also use pencil, by the way. And then go back to your angle spotter between 9 and 10. 9 and 10. So it moves a little bit this way. Okay? And then, of course, a vertical line is not an issue. And then for this, the edge of the building is a little higher than the onion. So we put a dot here and a wiggly line there. I don't know what that is. Don't ask me because I'm not an architect. So you will just draw it seemingly looking like a building. Don't stress yourself too much. So there you go. And a little onion here again. And a little cross right there. Right? So a little window from the bell tower. And that's it. Then here, little bit of that. And the edge of the roof, just to show it. And now, since we are done with two items on our subject, the next one is this little guy and this one. Okay, so we use our spotter again. Okay, so it's not a full square, a little over half. Put our spotter here, a little over a spot. This edge is close to this angle, which is this one. So a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Okay.
We have comments in the chat saying, I will never look at a building the same way again.
Like an onion.
Exactly. I think everyone's going to have onion, onion, onion in their heads all day
Onion,
long.
onion, onion. Yeah, you just look at shapes. Sing to yourself. Like, sing like there's no tomorrow. And sing like there's no one. Sing and dance like no one's watching. And it will make things easier. I promise. See, I made the wrong angle. I always do that. But I don't care. It's my drawing. Like do a Bon Jovi. It's my art, and it's now or never. I just want to sketch forever. It makes things easier, right? So
I cannot wait for your mini workshop.
You don't need to stress yourself. You just need to enjoy.
I like that idea. Draw like nobody's watching.
Yeah. Because as soon as you get conscious with what you're doing, it's stressful.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. That's it. And to put this together, we add some plants. Just make wiggly lines. Wiggly lines. Anyway, this is not your full sketchbook. So that's why it's nice to have something small like this. It makes everything easier. No stress. Like if you make a mistake, who cares? At least you capture the moment. Right?
Absolutely.
See, we're done. Less than 5 minutes. We're done.
Awesome. Look how fast that was.
Onion, onion, onion. It will be in your head forever. Onion, onion, onion. Okay, now we'll start coloring. I will just be using one color. You can choose. Let us put this on the side. Okay. For now, I'm going to use one dark color. I think I request people to just bring one color, something dark. So I'm using this this gray. Okay. I just need some tissues. Okay. And a small mixing palette. This is so convenient if you're traveling. Thank you, Etchr, for sending this over. It's really cool.
And it's so cute, isn't it?
It's so cute. Okay. So I will just be using this to mix on your palette. Maybe create one that's lighter for values. Okay. So one is darker because you want to have mid-tone, a lighter tone, and of course the whiteness of the paper. We don't need to stress too much on this one. The darker ones, of course, will go to your focal point and add some shadow. So this is just one gray color. So start with the dark. No, that's not too dark. It depends on how you do your sketch. This is just for me as a guide. And then add more water. Maybe that's your mid-tone. Others would do it the other way, but we don't have much time. Okay, something lighter than that one. And then add more water. Because sometimes I would start with the lighter one first. And of course, something very, very light. When I'm hurrying and I'm more conscious of the sun, because you want to capture the shadows. I would put my shadows immediately. Get your mid-tone. Put darks on that one. This is like a size 12 brush. I like this brush because the point doesn't disappear. It's so nice. It's holding its point so well.
I love our brushes.
Okay. Yeah, I was actually surprised.
Me too.
Okay, just initially add where your shadows go and boom. Just put it there. At least you have your mid-tone immediately and you captured your shadow. Okay. So that's it. Light is coming from here. So you would think that your shadow is on this side. Okay. I should have said that earlier. Sorry. I forgot about it because when I'm sketching it just comes naturally. Okay, shadow comes here, and then next would be this other building. Okay. Shadows here, and based on our picture, there's a cast of shadow on this side. Okay. Because these are hidden under the trees. So you have a little bit of shadow there. And for the buildings. Let me know if you have questions and if you're still following.
Oh, yeah. No questions so far. I think everyone's enjoying just watching.
Just watching my, yeah. So that's how you do it. And you don't need to draw all the windows. Just a suggestion would do. Because remember, this is not your real sketchbook. This is something fun to just work on initially. Okay. So just a little bit mixture there. Okay.
Isabella, I might have been laughing while you said this, or maybe you haven't mentioned it yet, but I'm guessing that the ink that you used is permanent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It is. Like I always have permanent ink. Yeah, not water soluble ink on my fountain pen, but for this technique of drawing quickly,
Mhm.
I would also sometimes use water soluble inks because it creates a different effect. But maybe we can discuss this another time. And yeah, for your ink, if you're using it on a fountain pen, please don't use calligraphy pen or India ink. It will ruin your pen.
Mm. I'm going to put a suggestion for a really lovely ink in the chat.
Yeah. This is the ink that I use. Sketch ink. It's by Lotte.
Huh.
Okay. Right. So uh, alrighty. Okay. Look at this. We have blank spots. We want to unify this together. So put something in between that's not so hard, but just a suggestion. Like maybe trees in between. You just need to ground the building and unify the buildings together. And that's it. And maybe from the edge, you can add some trees on the side.
Oh, that really
Okay.
brings it to life, doesn't it?
Mm. This watercolor has different, the granulation is nice, and
Did you
there's
already
different
say
colors.
which watercolor that is, or what color it is?
Oh, this is a watercolor made in Poland, uh, and it's Shibis gray. I don't know if there's someone Polish listening right now. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Or you can also use Moon Glow. I think this is also
Oh, yeah.
a name that's familiar to
Mm-hmm.
you. So they're almost the same, except I find this has a little bit of a bluish greenish tint on
Yeah.
it. Okay, so you only have mid-tone, so you can add your darks now to give more focus on this one. So I like this. I really like this brush. It has a really nice point. And okay. Let me know if you have questions because we're almost done.
Yeah.
We're almost done. Yep.
Yeah, so everybody, if you have questions for Isabella, please put them into the chat so I have a little list for her.
Yep.
And Andy is asking if it's possible to use Payne's Gray.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's also one of my favorite colors. You can also use indigo, sepia.
You would imagine any of those darker, semi-neutral colors would work really well for this kind of monotone painting.
Yep. Or I have if you like, there's also like water soluble graphite.
Oh, yeah.
This is something. Okay. we can give this a try. Yeah, see that bluish color?
Mhm.
And for water soluble graphite, you can, for this one especially, you can have warm and cooler colors. Uh, it is something that you can add on to your sketch kit.
I've been
So,
wanting to try those.
oh, you should get one.
Mhm.
This is
I
this
encourage
is
my addiction.
yeah, this is a Derwent, and I like this. I like this set because it has a lot of colors. And you know, us ladies,
Oh,
we
yeah.
just love colors. All right, so we can actually, if you have an extra color with you, I think I would like to add some warmth to this. It's always nice to have, to have colors. What can I say?
And Isabella, I think you told me earlier that the Fude pen that you're using is the Charlie Chapman. Is that
Yeah,
right?
Charlie
Okay,
Chaplin. Yeah,
great.
here
Do you know
it's
who makes that? Is that a Duke pen?
yes, it has a bent nib, and I like working with this one because you don't need any other pen. It can make wide wide lines, thinner lines. It really works well with cold press paper, and you can even use the backside for very fine lines. You don't need a lot of um, graphic pens for this one. Just change the angle of how you would draw, and you'll get a variety of lines. Look at that.
Yeah,
Let me
those are
put that
so cool.
closer, maybe. Look at that. Look at the lines.
It's just so versatile.
Yeah, you just love the versatility of, of this one. Yep. So that's what we have now. Any other questions?
Yes, actually. If you were working with color, would
Mhm.
you work with the shadows first or would you start with the lights?
It depends. If I'm on location, most often than not, I would put the shadow first. If you have a cobalt blue, because cobalt blue is um, something that you can mix with colors. You can place your shadows immediately, and you don't need to worry about it even if the sun moves. Because
Mm,
in just a few minutes, the sun will change, right? And you don't know how to capture that anymore in your sketch. So what you can do is actually put the shadow first and then refine it later. At least it's just a marker, just like how I did it on mine. I mean, just put something on the edges. Plus, I like to start with the mid tone because before I understood the value of values, my drawings are flat.
mm.
Um, for me to uh, to add more darks, I use an app. I use an app called Hypocam. Hypocam. Look for this app. You can see a view or a scene just using darks, black and white, high resolution black and white, and it will be easier for you to see and where to add the values. I hope you can look it up.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's about it. We don't need to add anymore. And let me know if because this is just preliminary, and while you're working on this little sketchbook. So
There is a
yeah.
question asking if you would then take this and transfer it to another sketchbook.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because if you want to do a real painting, this would be your basis. Other artists would use a thumbnail sketch for their composition, right? I think you're familiar on how to do that. Um, for me, I like working with this paper because if it's easier for me, it's not on my real sketchbook, it's not on a real paper that I would like to use for painting, but it will give me the liberty of just doing things like this on the side of the paper. And if I'm documenting something, this is handier and it's easier for me to classify what I did for this one. Just like I said, because some people they treasure their sketchbook so much they don't want to even start working on anything, and it defeats the purpose.
Mm.
So if you're one of those who's scared to mess up your sketchbook, this is an easier solution. Plus, when it's folded, you can always tuck it into your sketchbook and it's a reference photo.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So,
So let's talk a little bit about your mini workshop. So the
mhm.
mini workshop is a 90-minute class. It is a step-by-step class. And this way you'll be able to delve a lot deeper into the techniques that were covered today. And
Yeah.
you'll get a lot more entertainment from, from Isabel as well. And it's a really wonderful way to support her work and her art. And the recording will be available a few days later. So if you, excuse me, actually more about a week later, if
Mhm.
you are unable to attend live. So,
Mhm.
Isabella, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what they're going to be doing and learning in the mini workshop?
Okay. So, this was done quickly for the mini workshop. We will be doing this again step by step, and we will be not working on this one anymore. We will be using either a real A4 size paper sketchbook, and I will show you what we're going to work on again. So it looked like a complicated building, but it's actually not. We will break this down to make it look easier and to really work on it and make it easier for you to work on. The image that we'll be sketching this. Let me put my little sketchbook on the side. This is actually this building.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
There. There. Can you see it
Yep.
now? All right. We will just be dealing with shapes. And if you would see, this building has so many details. We'll
Mm.
make it fun. I'll sing to you again if you attend my mini workshop.
We're going to be expecting it. We're going to be waiting for it.
Sing, song, and dance. So, how to deal with something like this? And we will do this again, but we'll do it together. And we'll have more time. And I will also show you how I folded this at the mini workshop. So
Oh,
we'll
that'd be wonderful.
will not be stressed. We don't like stress. Art should be something relaxing to do. We don't want stress at all.
Oh, this has been absolutely wonderful and entertaining.
That's it. Like art should be entertaining, right?
When this is done, you should go back and read the comments in the chat.
I will.
We're just
I will.
having so much
I will.
fun.
Yeah. Let me know if you have other questions.
Well, actually, we do have a question that came up earlier. The thing that you painted today,
Mhm.
the building that you painted today, where is that? What's the location of that?
Oh, this is in Plots in Poland.
Oh,
I
okay.
took this picture.
Oh, nice.
So you're free to use it and then tag me if you post on Instagram or on the Facebook or in the group Etchr family Facebook account. Let me know, tag me, and I will try to repost you.
Great.
I can only repost you on Instagram because yeah, because the Etchr family is private, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I can comment on
Yeah,
whatever you'll put there.
absolutely.
Yeah, this is in pots. Yeah. Okay. So, anything else?
I'm waiting to see if any more questions come through. So a lot of people saying that this was fabulous and fun, and thank you. There is a question asking about the little viewfinder, the little clock viewfinder, as far as whether or not you're going to show how that is done. I know you explained it a little bit in the beginning of this demo, but
Oh, this one
yeah,
I can actually just put just through my Instagram account. I can put the pattern on how this is made because it's actually easy. You just use the inside of your masking tape to create the circle and just divide it like your clock and add these squares just to vertical and horizontal lines 2 centimeters apart.
great.
This is like an 5.5 by 8 inches. In centimeters, if there are people watching from Europe, 21 by 14, or any size you like. It actually depends on the size of your sketchbook. So you can easily just insert this and you don't leave it. And whenever you're sketching on location, this is a really handy tool to have.
Great. Well, I am not seeing any more. Oh, yes. Actually, there's a question. Can you please show your finished sketch one more time?
Okay. Put this on the side.
And everybody, I did put the link to our feedback survey into the chat. We would love to hear about your experience today. And that way we can keep bringing you content that you enjoy. So even if you want to just give Isabella a shout out for being so entertaining, that would be wonderful. And oh, there is another question here. Does graphite smear when it's dry?
No. Oh, this brand doesn't.
Yeah, it's pretty stable once it's done.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody, one more time, I'm going to put the link to the mini workshop into the chat. And also our Facebook group. If you followed along today or you decide to do this later, we would love to see what you've done. And you can ask for feedback if you post your work or just share it for the sake of sharing. It's a really lovely, really welcoming, positive group. All right, so I think that's kind of it. We can start to wrap up. We do these free live demos several times a week. So please do subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you can be notified when we go live. We also have our Make More Art podcast, product demonstrations, and much more. And Isabella, thank you so much for being so entertaining and just so passionate about what you do and sharing that with us. It was really a wonderful, wonderful demo. Any final thoughts before we go?
Oh, thank you, Kitty. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you sign up for the mini workshop because we will have more entertainment.
And we expect singing.
Oh,
we're going to
song and
hold you to that.
dance. Yeah,
We're holding you to that.
yeah. Art should be fun, and just remember, your hand is a conduit of your creative mind. Capture something beautiful, or make it yourself.
Wonderful.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me, and hope to see you in the mini workshop.
And everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. And until we see you next time, make more art. Bye, everybody.
Make more art. Bye.